All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. I've been going over some examples from our textbook, starting out with Java Early Objects, 5th edition by Tony Gaddis. And we're on, again, Chapter 16 of 16. So I'm on the last set of programs that we're going to go over. And again, I did not write these. I'm using the ones that are in the textbook for Chapter 16. And what the author has done is he'll talk about something and then show a program, talk about something and then show a program. So notice we're importing java.sql.star, and as it says, it's needed for our Java database connectivity classes. The program demonstrates how to issue a select statement using JDBC. Now I'm going to show you a couple things here. It'll kind of go off the beaten path, so to speak. But the syntax for this, let's suppose that I have a table, and that table is called person. Now let's call it customer. Customer. All right. So very similar. We've got a customer one in here. We'll say that our fields are cust number, cust name, cust address, cust city, cust state, and cust zip. All right. If I want to show everything that's in the customer table, I type in select star from customer. Typically, I think there's an S on there. So if I say select star from customers, that's going to give me everything that's in the table. So if that's my desire, that's what I say. If I want just an individual field, like if I say select cust name from customers, that will give me the name of every customer. Again, that should make sense. If I want the name, and then let's say the address, city, state, zip, okay? I just want to show you one thing, because what I can do is I can say select cust name, cust address, all right? And then if I want to, I can literally concatenate together. So I can say concat cust city. I don't know if it's a comma or a plus, but I think it's a plus. I could be wrong. Cust, so that plus a space, plus cust state. And maybe I didn't just want that. Maybe I wanted a comma in there with a space. Plus space plus cust zip. Okay, so you can see I can do any kind of combinations like this that I want to. Typically, customer number is going to end up being the primary key, because that'll be a unique field. It is possible to have two customers that have the same name. All right, a father and a son, mother and a daughter, however. All right, but if I say select star from customers, I'm going to normally get it back in an order that may or may not make sense. So what if I want it in some kind of order that makes sense? I can say select star from customers, and then if I want to, I can say order by cust name. And if I do that, I get all my stuff back in ascending order based on the customer's name. I can put, if I want, their ASC, but that's a little redundant to say that. However, if I do want it in descending order, I must put in DESC. And remember, all these words that I'm putting in alphabetic order like this, they're just keywords. They don't have to be in alphabetic order. As I mentioned to you previously, SQL is a case-insensitive language. So that's just a little prelude. All right, so let's run this. And coffee's found in the database. You'll notice that they're not in any kind of order. All right, I shouldn't say that. They're in order based on the way they were put in. So they're in order based on the product number. All right, so here we've got select description from coffee. And if you remember, when we created the database, that what we have in here is we've got description, prod num, and price. All right? So the reason I'm showing you that is if I say we've got here select description from coffee, and if I add to this order by description, that's the only change that I'm making. All right? So you saw what it looked like here. It's in order by product number. But I've done it, I said make an order by description. I'm running it again. Now what should happen is I should have this now in alphabetic order. See that? If I run it again and I ask for it by, so let's say select description, comma, price from this, and we'll order it by price. Maybe it's because I didn't, select description, price from, it's not giving me the price. Is that the wrong name? Price is the right name. Why is it not giving me that? Select description, comma, price from coffee, order by price. But it's not giving me the price. Huh. Let's see if we say select price from coffee, order by price. Do we get the price? No, we're not getting anything. Column, description, not found. So that worked. Select the description from coffee, order by price. Get query, coffee's phone and database, boom. Ah, we're not printing it out. There we go. So we'll put that back and we'll put in here price, okay? And down here, I'm going to grab this line. I'm going to replicate it, but this first print line I'm going to make into a print, and that'll be description, and that'll be price. Let's see if that fixed it. So now you can see we've got all of our descriptions followed by all of our prices. All right? And there again, when we put this in, we ordered it by price. So notice that it's an ascending order. Well, some of these have the same price. So what order does it put it in? Well, we want to take some control over here. So we're going to say order by price in descending order. And if there are any ties, then order it by description in ascending order. So notice now it's in descending order, and when there are ties like here, then put it in ascending order based on the description. All right? Now I'm not doing anything as far as formatting these, but you can hopefully see what's going on. So we set up our constant, we create our connection, we create our statement. You saw it because I've modified it quite a bit here. We execute the query, heading, tell it to loop through. You can't use a for loop here unless you first do something where you figure out how many actual records there are in there. Remember, the for loop is a counting loop. Always make sure to close your connection. If you don't close it, it gets closed for you automatically. But if you suffered a power hit or something like that, especially if this was a database with loads and loads of information in it, you could corrupt the database. I think we've kind of beat that program to death. It's just a simple select. That's what they had, and I went and added some stuff to it. So again, they explain what's going on here, so if you don't like my description, you can go and take a look at it. Here they mention if you want to have more than one select statement. So they want the show descriptions and prices. It's kind of what I did for you. All right, so I'm not even bringing that one in there. All right, they've prettied it up, so let's take a look at theirs. That's fine. What is it again? It's show descriptions and prices. Is that what it's called? Show descriptions and prices. Again, don't claim that these are mine because they're not. What I'm trying to do is to go over if you've already had some some work with SQL. Hopefully this is just review for you. Show descriptions and prices. All right. So again, notice we've got select description price from coffee. I'm again going to add in here price from coffee. I'm going to get rid of that. Let me get order by price in descending order, comma, description. What I showed you before. It's going to be the same result, but hopefully at least it's going to run and look a lot cleaner. No, it doesn't. So they've done some formatting that I've just broken, I guess. Okay. Same program we had last time. The only thing that's different is they've done a little bit of formatting in here. So they're saying %25s, which means that's how much space that's supposed to take up. %.2f. And there is a way to do this. I don't remember what it is where you can write format. This printf statement in there stands for print formatted. We have looked at it before with other programs. It is gleaned, which is a polite way of saying taken, stolen, whatever, from the C programming language. All right, let's jump back into the book. I've already explained that. The next one is show coffee data, where I think they just do a select star to show you everything. And there's the result. All right. Notice SQL statements are free form, meaning that tabs, new lines, etc. are ignored. It's virtually like using HTML. All right. So you could write that like this. You could put everything on one line. I always tell people, this is my opinion, that that what you ought to do when you're doing this is you should come up with a standard. You might go to work for a place that has a standard, and then you follow their standard, of course. If you're the only one working for the place and there is no standard, you make your own. But the key thing here is to be consistent. I'm to the point in my career where I tell people it's even better to have a bad standard as long as you're consistent than to have no standard at all. So things like capitalization, okay, that kind of thing. Be consistent with it. Now, what we just looked at on here on the example was we looked at select description price from coffee. Now, if you notice, okay, what I'm going to say is where price is less than or equal to $10. So we should get all of these, and the first four should now be eliminated from here. All right? The where provides criteria. So I'm going to say where price is less than or equal to $10. All right? So we're putting that in, we're running this. Syntax error in the where in line 2. Select. Oh, the order by has to be at the end. That's my error. Again, that's the syntax of the language. I broke the syntax, so it gave me an error message. You'll notice now there is no coffee in there that is more than $10. All right. So what if I wanted the price less than or equal to 10 and the description has got a B in it? It's kind of silly, but so I could say description like $B %, which means literally just that. The price has got to be less than or equal to 10 and the description has got to have a B in it. The Percent sign means it can start with anything and have a B, then end with anything. So there can be 0 or more characters. So let's look. That should remove this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. All these Bolivian ones should stay, and these Brazilian ones should stay. So let's check. Didn't like something. Column 78. Line 1, column 78. Ah. How about that? And it's telling me it didn't find anything. So evidently it doesn't like my syntax. Let's try to change it to this. And just see if I get this. For description like this. Order by this. Well, I'm jumping ahead, and that's on me. So I've done something wrong syntactically. We'll fix it in just a couple minutes. All right. So the where clause, they did where price greater than 12. I did it where price was less than 12. You can use any combination of these operators. Now, I do want to mention something that's not in the book unless it's changed here. Greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, or not equal to. What if I want every price that's in there that is not equal to $8.95? I want every price that's not equal to. So I'm going to say here, where price not equal to 8.95. All right, so let's see if that works. All right, if we look in here, you'll notice we have no price of $8.95. All right. I should also be able to do exclamation point equal, and that should work also. So I'm going to take my console and clear it, and then run it again. And you notice I get the same thing. Now, if I wanted everyone where price was equal to $8.95, run this again, and there's my $8.95s. Okay? If I wanted where price is greater than $8.95, that should give me everything except for those three. All right? Unless there's some that's less than $8.95. And there are. Okay, if I say less than or equal to, that means include $8.95 in your results. And you can see that it does. All right, so there's so many different ways. There are people who've melded very good careers out of going in and being really good at working with databases. Now, here they're saying where description equal French roast dark. Now, the important thing here is where you say equal, with an equal sign like that, that must be an exact match. So in other words, if I sit, let's grab the query. In fact, I'll just grab this, where French equals French roast dark. So I'm going to copy that. Okay, where description equal French roast dark. So let's see if that works. There it is. But what if I put this? Notice we get nothing. The equal sign symbolizes equality. It must match that exactly. Now notice if I put that into with a capital K. Oh, I'm surprised. It didn't give me a result. Most of the time, now that's a Java thing, because when you are working with most relational database management systems, and I haven't worked that much with JavaDB, but if you work with, for example, MySQL, it's case insensitive, so it would find that. All right, lumbering on. This is the minimum price. Again, I'm running a lot of these for you, so. kind of a neat example here, so let's look at this one. So let's run it, and then we'll go back and take a look at it. So it's coffee min price. Again, I'm not going through every one of these. Rather, what I'm doing is I'm taking a lot of them that are in there, and I'm combining them into just one program. All right, so let's run this. It says enter the minimum price. So I want everything that is $11 or more. And notice what I get, $11.95, $18.45, so there were 3 coffees that were found. Now I'm interacting. So it lets the user search for coffees at a minimum price. Notice we've added the scanner class because that gave us the ability to be interactive. Okay? So we created a keyboard object. You've seen this before. We're telling them to enter a minimum price. We're setting it. Then what's the key part here is this. We have to convert that minimum price into a string because because this is a string. All right? Then we execute the query and print out the results. So you'll notice that if I change this, we just ran it, we put in 11. If I run it again, and for a minimum price, it gave us 3 coffees. If we put in 9, now we get 9 coffees, okay? And again, there's not much rhyme or reason to this. It's, I believe, all set up to display it by the, again, by the product number. But I could come in here, where price greater than this, and I could add to this. I think I need a plus here. Order by price, by price, descending, description. Hopefully that'll work. Enter the minimum price. What did we put it before? 10. So now notice I've got the price in descending order, and if there are matches like there are here, then it's an ascending order based on the description. All right? There literally are so many possibilities, and I'm not just saying this. The possibilities, as the saying goes, are literally endless. All right. You can run a lot of the functions like uppercase. It says the following statement will not work. Can you see why? And there isn't anything called decaf. That's why they use the like. So let's try this one. In fact, we'll go to the next program. An underscore means a single character. It's a wildcard character. The percent sign means 0 or more characters. It's another wildcard character. Here's an example of a price that's got to be greater than 10 and it has to be less than 14. So let's try that query. We'll put that query into what we're working on right here. And we'll keep the order by and all the other good stuff. And we'll remove, let's see, that needs to be there. I'm going to remove the scanner stuff because we don't need that now, so we don't need the enter minimum price. Okay, let's run this. And what did we ask for? Price greater than 10 and less than 14. They both are. Order by price in descending order, which it is. There are no matches. Well, what if we say greater than 8 and less than 14? And since it's 0.00, we don't even need this. We can just put it in like this. It'll work fine. And notice there are matches now, 995, and you can see that they're in alphabetic order. If I wanted to, I could put them in descending alphabetic order too. There's nothing at all stopping me from doing that. Now they're in descending order. Notice S, B, O, M, B, O, D, etc. All right, so as I've already mentioned and keep mentioning, the possibilities with this literally are endless. All right, I've already gone through sorts with you. The next thing that's in there is the mathematic functions. These are also called aggregate functions. All right, before we go on with that, I think I'm going to stop right here, and I'll start a new lecture in just a couple minutes.